Hi. The books that I chose really are books that I've enjoyed for many years. And I guess one of them I'll start with is Fred Chappell's I Am One of You Forever, which is this wonderful piece of Southern writing that is part of a trilogy that follows a family in Appalachia. And the book I Am One of You Forever is told in the first person by the son of two teachers, actually, the father, who is sort of a character. It is a magical book, if there's such a thing as the Southern magical realism. This is it. So it's a Bildungsroman, or a sort of a coming-of-age story, but it also really addresses the nature of storytelling and the importance of storytelling in our lives. It's a beautiful book with really wonderful poetry in it as well. Highly recommend it, and it's fun. Another piece of Southern writing that I've always loved, I've been a big fan of Flannery O'Connor for many years. Her novels, as well as, in particular, her short fiction. And I suppose what I love about Flannery O'Connor also is she is funny. She's funny when she, while at the same time tackling really heady issues surrounding faith and the nature of faith. For a woman who was a deeply devout and committed Catholic, she's not afraid to address people of her of faith who might act hypocritically. I love the way she gets at race. I love the way she gets at hypocrisy in faith. And again, her writing is poetic and really, I think there's something in Flannery O'Connor's writing that can appeal to everybody. She's one of my great heroes of fiction writers. Another piece, my background and much of my love has been in environmental studies and environmental literature. Aldo Leopold, who also wrote in the 40s, not only was he a great science and advocate for environmental ethics, this is 70 years ago, and many of his thoughts about ways in which we should steward the land and the land ethic were very prescient. And just for instance, in Sand County Almanac, his piece Thinking Like a Mountain, which talks about the land ethic and particularly the way in which the extermination of the wolf has an effect on the entire bio system, and again, for a scientist, he also is a really fine writer. So if you have any interest at all in environmental ethics and literature, he's somebody that you have to read. Homer, if I could do it all over again, I think I'd be a classicist. Homer, and particularly Homer's Odyssey, which was really a commentary after the Iliad, is another coming of age in many ways, but it's more than that. It's about what's important, and home, family, what it means to be a civilized society, and the story and the structure. The structure of the Odyssey is mind-boggling when you think about the actual narrative and when it takes place in real time, and how much of the story and the stories take place years previous to the current narrative. It's fantastic when you map it all out. It's amazing to think that this was all put together in a person's head, but also in the oral tradition, though there are theories surrounding whether or not it all was Homer's, but that doesn't matter. And then finally, Philip, I think I'm finally, right? 4 or 5. Yeah. And then Philip Levine's poetry has always appealed to me. And one of the reasons is he and I are both from Detroit, and we both grew up around the factories, and both came from families that worked in the factories. He is an everyman poet in many ways, and I think that one of the other reasons why I like him so much is he also moved to California like I did, and I actually met him, and I just love the simplicity and the complexity at the same time of his verse, and the monologues in his poems. So again, if you're a fan of poetry, highly recommend Philip Levine.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.